Today is leg day. It's also going to be Erica clean the counter day, Erica wash the dishes day, and Erica clean this counter day as well, because this is all her mess, not mine.
Cooking for you.
We all know who was doing the cooking this week, and you can tell by how crappy the food is. Whenever it's leg day, I always eat a lot more than I normally do. So I'm going to be making a big plate of chicken, sweet potatoes, asparagus, rice. This is some chicken. Is this the chicken that you cooked, babe?
No, the one I cooked is gone.
Oh, whose chicken is this? Was that a meal someone took to the studio?
Yeah.
Did you take it to the studio?
Yeah.
Why didn't you eat it then?
We didn't eat it, we bumped with the chicken in action.
Oh yeah. Got some beans too. Nice. Alright, get some chicken. Gonna eat this asparagus. I really like asparagus. It makes your pee smell weird, but it's really good. I make like sweet potato biscuits. It's a lot easier for me just to do that instead of trying to make them all look nice and neat and baked. That just takes too much time. Now I can't take the beans and the rice out with my fingers, so I'm gonna have to stop filming. Normally I try to eat the majority of my carbs throughout the earlier part of the day anyways, but because I'm doing legs today, like I said, I like to eat more food. I'm eating a lot, basically, probably.
Holy cow!
I'm eating probably, close to almost all my carbs at once. I will have carbs a little more tonight and after my workout, but I try to get all that energy in as much as I can. Well, so today we're gonna focus on, I'm probably gonna do some deadlifting again. I wanna keep up with that. But we'll do hamstrings tomorrow, so we're not gonna hit hamstrings today. We're gonna separate the workouts.
What are you doing?
Well, it's been a while since I busted out one of my OG tanks, babe. Now this is the one that I asked you out on our first date.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah!
That's your lucky one then.
This must be the lucky tank. Bring back memories for you, sweetie.
Oh my gosh, babe. Yeah, it brings back memories of you yelling and screaming real loud.
She always makes fun of me for yelling and screaming at the gym and how it's so annoying. But look who's with me right now in our home.
Yeah. The other day, just so you guys know, the gym manager came talk to him and asked him to take it easy on his grunts because he was sounding like he was having a baby in the middle of the gym floor.
Well, I was doing the leg press with like 8 plates on each side, and I was on my last set, and I did 8 reps in a row, and I told myself in my head, I always play games, and I said, if I make it to 15 without stopping, then I can move on to the next exercise. And so I kind of like blacked out and pushed out the leg presses.
He just forgets that there are other people around there trying to focus and work out as well.
Whatever.
It's not Scott's world.
It's my world. Now let's go get to the gym. Got my insert belt. Still breaking it in. It's still really tough, especially on deadlifts. It really hurts. I get a little bruising on my hips, but that's to be expected. But I just want to show you guys the difference in thickness between my old belt and my new belt. So it's quite a significant difference. The first exercise is going to be a rack pull. Now I'm deadlifting 3 times a week because I'm trying to increase my overall max. And so one day is a rack pull, another day is a deficit deadlift, and another day is conventional deadlifting. And as you guys can see, I'm pausing between every single rep for a few different reasons. Number 1, to make sure the bar isn't still bouncing. And number 2, I actually hurt myself deadlifting 515. I had a slight bend in my right elbow when I pulled the weight, and I pretty much strained every muscle in my right arm. And so what I'm doing before every repetition is making sure my arms are locked out, I'm flexing my back, pushing through my heels, and you guys can see every muscle from my calves, hamstrings, and glutes activating on every single rep, especially from this angle. You guys want to make sure that every rep is perfect. I want you to avoid injuries, so learn from my mistake. Much stronger hold with this belt. It's like night and day difference. And that insert belt really does make a big difference. Ever since I've got it, I've been able to comfortably deadlift and squat heavier weight without feeling like my core is starting to stretch. And so only put that belt on when you need it. As you guys saw, I didn't start using the belt until I got over 405 pounds. My core is strong enough to handle up to 405 without starting to feel like my form is breaking down. My goal is to keep getting stronger, to not need the belt until I get heavier and heavier, but you need to learn your body, and that belt is used as a tool to assist you. Do not use it on every single rep, especially if lifting light. As soon as you're done your rack pull, we're gonna go over into the barbell squat. Now we're doing 3 burn sets. So even though there's only 3 total exercises that we're doing for our legs, we're doing a total of 18 working sets, because when you do a burn set, each burn counts as a set. So even though we're doing a non-stop burn of 8 repetitions here, and then we're gonna drop the weight and do 8 more repetitions, that still counts as 2 sets. And there's no resting when doing a burn set. Technically, the only rest you're gonna have is the time it takes you to take off the weight, lower it, and get back under the bar and start the next set. So as soon as you drop that weight, pick up the bar and go into your next set of 8 repetitions. Now, how much you drop the weight is gonna be totally up to you. You have to learn your own body. Now, for me, the first set of this burn set was actually a bit light. 225 for me is a bit light on my squats, but I wanted to see how my body was gonna feel doing the first burn, going from 225 to 185. And with a nice little pause at the bottom, as you guys can see, it was a nice set, but I can definitely go heavier. So on my next set, I bumped it up to 275, and once again, doing 8 repetitions. Now my form on my squats, as you guys will see, is all the way down, all the way up on every single repetition. And the reason why I stop at the top of each rep is because I'm resetting my breath. You want to make sure that you have enough air in your diaphragm to create a nice tight core to make sure that you don't fall over forward as you push up through the weight. A lot of people have a bad habit of breathing out as they come up on a heavy squat. If you breathe out as you come up on a heavy squat, your body's gonna act like an accordion that ran out of air, and you're gonna crumple and you're gonna fall over forward. So don't breathe out any air out of your system until you get back to the top of the repetition. And that's why I'm resetting my breath. And you also wanna make sure that you're keeping your chest up as high as you can in every single repetition. And if you guys can't go as low as I can, just work on your flexibility over time. Go as low as you possibly can on every single repetition. The only bad thing about not going low enough is if you're falling into the habit as you increase the weight or your body becomes more fatigued, that's the only reason why you're not going as low as you normally could. And what I mean by that is a lot of people, as they start to fatigue, they go less and less and less on their range of motion because they're stubborn and they don't want to reduce the weight. And what I want you guys to focus on, and what I need to really drill into your head, is that if you're lifting weight and you're fatiguing and you have to drop the weight, that's the whole point of exercising, to build muscle, to do as much volume as possible and to break down the muscle tissue. If you guys could do the same weight on every single set, or always bump the weight up on every single set, it means you're probably not pushing yourself as hard as you could on those beginning sets. Now as we move on to the last set of barbell back squats, I'm doing 315. I did want to get 8 repetitions here. However, I was starting to feel fatigued, and by the time I got to my 6th repetition, I could feel my body breaking down. But I am using my belt on this set. When I get to 315, that's where I start to feel my core break down a bit. So I toss that belt on to have a bit more power so I can push through more repetitions. And again, as soon as you're done, you're gonna drop the weight. But just because I used my belt on the 315, it doesn't mean I have to keep it on for the burn set. I want you guys to obviously get in the habit of learning your body and pushing yourself as hard as you can. And just because you start using a lifting belt in your workout, it doesn't mean that for now, for the entire workout, you have to keep that belt on. It's okay to take off that belt if you feel like you don't need it. So guys, don't become reliant on a belt and think you have to use it all the time, because you don't.
You want to push your body to new limits, and the only way you can do that is by pushing yourself mentally and physically. So as you guys can see, I'm finishing up this burn set, 245 pounds. I am pretty fatigued at this point. That's why I'm taking a bit longer to do all my repetitions, but that's okay. I'm getting myself mentally focused to be able to do all the reps. And just for a little pat on the back for yourself, on that last repetition, once you get down as low as you can, I want you to sit there and pause for a second and then come back up, rack that weight, and get ready for the next exercise.
Was feeling a bit more fatigued from that last superset than I thought. Wanted to get 8 on the 315, but wasn't having it. I was pretty much dying on form on my 6th, but was still able to get 8. And an extra 20 pounds to the second drop. This was a good set.
Next up is the seated leg extension, and you guys are gonna do 4 burn sets here. Now, on the first part of the burn set, you're gonna do 10 repetitions. And I don't want you guys going as heavy as you can on the weight stack for these reps. I can do the whole weight stack here too, okay guys? It's not about that. It's about feeling the contraction in the quad. If you can't extend your legs and have enough time to squeeze your quads as hard as possible at the top of the movement, then the weight's a bit too heavy and you're not getting as much muscle contraction, so lower the weight. And then as soon as you're done, you're gonna cut the weight in half and do 12 more repetitions. And as you guys can see, I let go of the handles on the side of the seat for these 12 reps. And the reason why I did that is because if you hold on to the handles, you give yourself more leverage to extend your legs with heavier weight. As soon as you let go of the handles, now you have to really focus on keeping your butt in place on the seat. Don't let it lift up as you extend your legs. And as you do this, you guys are gonna feel your quads contract even harder. So if you haven't done this before, I want you guys to give it a shot and let me know how you feel in the comment section below. And hopefully, you'll be in as much agonizing pain as I was doing these sets. Now the last exercise you guys are gonna do are Bulgarian lunges. You're doing 4 sets. There's no burns on these sets because you're doing 8 reps per side. Now when doing this exercise, a lot of people have the bad habit of leaning forward too much. You don't want to lean forward. You want to keep your chest up and lean back when doing this for a couple different reasons. Number one, it's going to help you keep that knee over your heel a lot easier. And number two, the goal of this exercise, yes, we're going to target the quads a bit, but what we really want to do is focus on isolating those glutes. And by pushing through your heel, you're gonna feel it in your glutes a lot more. If you're pushing through your toe, you're gonna feel it more in your quads. So if your body's leaning forward for stability, you're automatically gonna push through your toes. If you're leaning back, you're gonna have a lot easier time pushing through your heel. Now this exercise is rough. It's only 90 pounds, but you're gonna be really fatigued from all the other exercises. So make sure you don't go too heavy and you use proper form on every single repetition.
You know, an unforeseen benefit of this exercise is my quads are so dead from that leg extension that I'm getting an equal amount of activation of my quads and glutes on this exercise. So it's gonna be a good way to finish this workout. That workout was intense. To be honest, the drive home, my wallet was bothering my glutes from those single leg extensions that we were doing. Well, not the extensions, the single leg lunges. Those sucked. But now that I'm home, I'm gonna load up on some creatine and glutamine, get that out of the way. I'm gonna have a protein shake. I'm gonna get in my saturated fats. These are just some of the things that I do when I come home from lifting, and then I'm gonna go eat the rest of that chicken you guys saw earlier. And I'm gonna still have carbs too, probably go a little light. I'll have like maybe just some asparagus and a little bit of sweet potato with it. Like I said, most of my carbs are gone from filling up on my breakfast and then the lunch I had before I went to the gym for my pre-workout meal. And then after that, the rest of the night is usually just like Greek yogurts and almonds, or whatever Erica wants to make for me.
Look, this is really the carb that he's gonna eat after the workout.
It's exactly what I want to eat. A month-old chocolate bunny.
I ate a piece, it's pretty good.
Oh, because women are addicted to chocolate. It's what is it? It's like a sexual stimulant for you ladies or something. I don't know.
Excuse me, Scott.
It is. Look it up on Google. Well, anyways, aside from that, hope you guys enjoyed the vid. Be sure to like and subscribe. And for those of you who haven't signed up for the waiting list yet for my Lean Muscle System program, I'll put a link in the info section below. I'm adding another 6-week program to the original ones. Now there's a volume 1 and a volume 2. You're not gonna want to miss it. See you guys later. You're a weirdo. Babes, just bringing back memories. When you first admired me from afar.
Right, I was stalking you, babe.
I was over throwing up hundies on the dumbbell bench press, and you were up there, the section where you never left, just gazing upon me as I lifted the weights and made my boobies bounce for you.
I know, the booby bounce is what got me hooked.
Every time she'd look, I'd be like, I wouldn't wink, I'd be like.
Oh my god. I know, the booby wink was what did it for me.